What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? Got some screen changes going on here. Hang on. Thought I'd hop on a few minutes. So apparently, how's it going? How's it going? Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Apparently, nope, that's the wrong one. There's a China deal. So I wanted to come on and see what's going on. See if you guys heard this. What's up, Versace Jen? Hello, Dawn, Isaac, Chris, 50, Jess in the life. All right, everybody say hi, say hi, say hi. JD, lucky guy, fat swag, JA, taste of 20, JD, Sprinter, what's up? U.S. makes substantial progress in China talks. Has anybody else seen this? There goes my dog. Check, check, check. What's up, King Paul? Yeah, calls tomorrow, right? So, I thought I saw this. I was like, well, I'm going to hop on live for a minute here and see if I can find anything. Did you guys hear anything? Yeah, I heard they reached an agreement. Yeah, no details really either. I heard made progress, but nothing confirmed. Yeah, I could take a boom. Here we go. How does it do that? My system.
We had the vice premier, two vice ministers who were integrally involved, Ambassador Jameson and myself, and I spoke to President Trump, as did Ambassador Jameson last night, and he is fully informed of what is going on.
It's important to understand how quickly we were able to come to
Information be
agreement,
released
which
Monday.
reflects that perhaps the differences were not so large.
I would just about bet on a gap up.
That being said, there was a lot
touted
of
a China
groundwork
trade
that
deal
went
on
into
Sunday without providing details.
Just remember why we're here in the first place. The United States has a massive $1.2 trillion trade deficit. So the president declared a national emergency, and
this could be good news.
So we're confident that the deal
this could be really good news.
with our Chinese partners
Pre-market,
will help us to
Pre-market will tell.
work toward resolving that national emergency.
When you love your dog like crazy, you make sure their food is delicious, just like yours. Caesar.
We've made substantial
like
progress
crazy.
between the U.S. and China in the very important trade talks.
We want to bring in former federal prosecutor
So this could be
and
good, guys.
MSNBC
This could be
legal
good.
analyst Christy Greenberg. Christy, first, can you walk us through what the Constitution actually says about habeas corpus and whether or not it can be suspended during a time of what is rebellion or invasion, and how you think the courts are going to react to this Trump administration's allegation that we're in a time that justifies suspending this right?
So Article 1 of the Constitution says that writs of habeas corpus are a privilege that shall not be suspended unless there is a case of a rebellion or an invasion that the
figured
public
crypto-
safety
is crypto
may
popping at all?
require that it be suspended. So again, to state the obvious, there is no rebellion or invasion.
Anybody got
Federal judges that have looked at this recently in the case of Tren de
Bitcoin over
found there is
104,
no invasion.
104.4 on
That requires
Bitcoin.
a military component that we have not seen. And public safety plainly does not require suspending habeas corpus. Just taking a step back into what habeas corpus is, all
Not
it's
a huge
saying
pop,
is that
though.
these people who are imprisoned get to challenge the fact that
This
they
was
are
pretty good
being
news, but
presently
I
detained.
don't see it ripping or anything. I mean, it's still
responded as
nice
a prosecutor to
and up.
many habeas petitions. Generally, they're
Yeah,
filed
Bitcoin hit
by
105
inmates
yesterday.
themselves, challenging either their conviction or
No
their
real
sentence.
move, yeah.
Most
I
of
don't
the
think
time,
so
there's
either.
not even a hearing. Usually,
Nothing
it's
much. So this was my idea. Like, I'm gonna watch this when the overnight session kicks in. I guess that's at 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. If it starts looking juicy, I may take a large position on TQQQ. I might, if it starts looking real nice, just to get ahead of the game, have some kind of position going into the morning, just on shares. Of course, you can't buy options at night time, but I thought I would bring this up as an idea if anybody wanted to try to catch an early move. You know what I'm saying? I sometimes do that. No, TQQQ. Yeah, Jim. TQQQ. Because you can't buy any options on the after hours or anything like that. So, but you can if you have accessible a decent amount of money that you can put to work, you can buy a lot of shares for a nice pop, you know. I'm just saying, if this thing opens and starts taking off, you know, we're at 59 basically. If it ran to, I don't know, 62, 64, something like that, it'd be a great move. $4 or $5 a share. That would be pretty awesome. It'd be pretty awesome. Hello, Shelly. Yeah, TQQ is a leveraged sprinter. I think it's 3x leverage. I think is what it is. I could be wrong. It's like buying the NASDAQ, the QQQs, and hey, Carolina, how are you? Brad. Jim. Yeah, I believe. Jim, I don't know if that's what the T stands for. Because SQQQ is the opposite. I don't know if the S stands for. I thought they were both triple leveraged. Let me look. Yep, 3 times. 3x the daily performance of the NASDAQ 100 index. I'm not sure how that calculates, but I do play that sometimes. Just to, and if you don't have much, if you're in a small account for your options, don't waste your money. Don't waste your buying power for the next day. I'll say that. Don't want to waste your buying power. Like if you're running a $1,500 or $2,000 account, you don't want to drop $1,500 on TQQ and buy minimal shares and not get much of a return off of it. So save your dry powder. Save your dry powder for King Paul. Is this it? Pro shares, Ultra Pro, QQQ, 58.95. Yeah, that's it, brother. That's it. So I may take like 10K and throw at it, so you can get a good 10K worth of shares. So if I bought what is that? $100 shares. You could get quite a few. 130, 140, something like that. 150 maybe. Let's see. $170 shares, 10 grand. That'd be a pretty nice little move, 170 shares. If you got a $2 move, nice little payday to open up with, Buy a limit on those. Yeah, you have to buy a limit after hours 50. How do I change my Weeble option position from amount to percentage? Let me pull you up here. Let's see here. I've been working on some stuff too, for some of my people that are out of the country, Canadians. I've coached a few people from like Australia and things like that. Don't mind the mess behind me neither. I'm really trying to overhaul my whole desk and room to make it look nice for you guys. So, what's up, Raj Deep? Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. In Hawaii too. Wait, Jim, are you saying Weeble doesn't have all of the features in Hawaii? It should. You may be right, lucky guy. Miss Sodi. I really did figure after that news, like you'd see Bitcoin start ripping, but I don't see it. So anyways, I was working on, let's go to Turbo Trader options here. And what was your question? Oh, Jim, I was talking about coaching those. I remember you from Hawaii. I was talking about coaching those that don't have the same features on Weeble. Sprinter, I don't even remember what is the triple leverage on SPY? SPXL? I mean, there's no big difference, man, other than if you wanted to buy SPXL, they're like $135 a share. And then I'm not sure what's the other one, guys? SPX, the one for the short. Is it XPXS maybe? Don't look right. 300% of the inverse. Yeah. This must be the inverse one. This one's very cheap. I'm not sure. 602s. I've never tracked them. I think SPXL would probably be okay, but it's $130 some a share, whereas on the Qs, either the SQs or TQs, you can get for like $60 a share and $30 a share. So it's just cheaper. I mean, they'll track the same. SPYU, maybe that's what I was talking about. Yeah, SPYU. What is that? That's a 4X. Yeah, 4X leveraged. I don't know. I've never tracked that one very much. I've done the TQs and SQs for so long, for a few years now. I'll keep up with them. So, anyway, somebody was asking how you display from amount to percentage on open position. How do I change my Weeble option position from amount to percentage? Are you talking about under the Turbo Trader icon down here, Forest Pump? Is that what you're talking about? Johnny Reese, you've got your filters are probably set wrong. I'll show you right quick. So to display this as open PL and percentage, you can, when you buy one right here, you can right click it and change it right there, or you can go to Turbo Options, right click and bring the settings up and go under positions and just change this. You probably have it like this: last price, average price, but you want it open P&L and open PL percentage. That way it'll tell you what percent you're up and what dollar amount you're up. That's what it does. Yeah, that's how you do it right there, Forrest. Right click on Turbo Options, Turbo Trader Options settings, positions, and then change it to, it's the second one. You probably got one of these selected. You need I guess it's the first one. Open PL, open PL percentage. That's what you want. You can also do it right here if you're in a trade. You can right click and change it right there, but might as well just do it up there in your settings. Somebody was asking about okay, Johnny Reese. Let me see if I can help you here. Why doesn't Weeble turbo option strike price be near in the money or out the money every time I click on different tickers? The prices are nowhere near the money. Dave, every time I log off and log back in, it resets to manual. I think it's a safety feature, I guess, because every time I do it, I have to reset it to market also. So, Johnny Reese, go to filters under turbo options. Go to filters. Make sure open INT, open interest, uncheck that. Okay? And the way I search is through the bid quote indicator. I leave this one checked right here. Bid. Then you can click away. It's going to go away. Then come over here in this just let me get on the SPY here. Okay, that's tomorrow's options. Now you're going to change this bid block. I used to do this a little different, but now I do 50 cents to $10. Then you're going to click OK. So you can change that bid. This is just setting a parameter for how you want to search your options. And this also expands the amount of option contracts by doing it this way that Turbo Trader will use or will list because of this. When you put it in 50 cents to $10, you could even do $12 if you wanted to. That would cover you on some very expensive options like Meta or Tesla at the front of the week. And this is what you do, how you get around that. You go up here to this word symbol and click, and it'll display another 10. Most of these are in the money. You get down here, you get the 564, 565 starting to be out of the money. Then you can click symbol again, and it's going to flip these, and it'll go way, for some close to the money, starting down here, working up to out of the money. So you can have 20 basically at your fingertips instead of just 10. Does that help you, Johnny? Everybody all right? Having a good weekend? I was really hoping to see a little more news. Okay, Johnny, cool. Yeah, if you pop that up there at first, it's going to give you really expensive ones, 50 cents to $10. Then just click symbol, and then you'll get you a bunch more that's out of the money. You can also go here. I just discovered this. So in the top left corner of the calls and the puts, there's 3 little lines up here where it says symbol. You can click that, and you can include or exclude any of the percentages or Greeks or whatever that you don't want even listed. So if you want to take away some things over here, you can. I took away a couple things like Vega or something. I don't read that stuff when I'm day trading them. So, yep. Then I'm gonna try to do a video this week for people that are out of the U.S. Is it best to be close to the money or a little bit out of the money? LD, I'll usually do a few strikes out of the money when I'm day trading them. But in saying that, it doesn't matter so much what you choose, okay? As long as you're not choosing like it's 565. I would not recommend buying 10 strikes out of the money to day trade the SPY. It's going to be very volatile. I try to stay somewhat close to the money, and if you want to take some volatility out and you've got the account size and you're not worried about buying power, you can stomach some buying power, then you can buy at the money, like the 564 or the 565, about $400 and $300 a contract, and it will drop some volatility. The percentage gains won't be as much, but the dollar gains will suffice. You know what I'm saying? It'll kind of equals out. Some people would rather buy like these I don't know, these 570s. Let's say they're like $150 of buying power. So $150 of buying power, you could buy 2 of those, have a higher percentage move, and sell one at a time to give yourself a runner. So there's, you kind of weigh your pros and cons with it. Or you could buy, for $400, I could buy pretty close to buying 4 of these 572s. That's not too far out of the money. Not too far. So it's kind of your risk size, your account size. What's up, Burris? Paulette Jones, I've never understood where the price of the contract gets deducted from. Paulette, can you be a little more specific? Are you talking about? Yeah, I feel you, LD. I mean, it's, I sometimes if the market's being a little on the choppy side, I'll buy closer to the money just to try to take a little volatility out. And seems to help some. So, Paulette, do you mean where the price of the contract gets deducted from? It gets deducted from your buying power. Let's say you have a $5,000 account and you buy a contract, you buy this 571 contract at market. It's probably going to fill at the $1.28 price at the ask, somewhere in that neighborhood. If you buy one of those, you have a $5,000 account. That's going to cost you $128 of buying power. So that is deducted from your account that you've used that. And let's say you make $10 on that account or on that contract. Let's say you make $10 on that. Well, if you're in a cash account, which I recommend to most people, your $5,000, you have used $28 of it now. So you've got $800 and some dollars of buying power left. Every night that resets, and then you can use your $5,000 over again. Is there a way to set stop loss in the same order ticket when buying an option simultaneously? Yes, JA. let's go to, and I'll tell you guys, anything that, any window you add here on top, all of these, like say your chart, all these are separate windows. These are just drop down tabs. I'm sorry, they're drop down tabs, not windows. But this is your window. There's a window here that's your watch list. This is a window, and then this upper piece, that's its own window. Each window you can add drop down tabs in, however you want to structure this. And these are the ones that I run. So on turbo options, if you can right click, bring up the settings, and then you go to buy button right here and set your percentage. So 20%. And now you'll see where it says market right here, buy market. It's going to set SL stop loss at 20% instantly. I hope that helps you, Paulette. Thank you. JA, so that's how you set a stop loss instantly on turbo options. I don't run with one, but if you set that, I would recommend next going to positions and then clicking your contract and watching your contract on a chart. That way you can move your stop really easily. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, hanging on to losers too long, Brad Bryan. What are your rules for exiting a trade that didn't go as planned? Brad, that's a great question. Some people get hung up on my strategy sometimes. So, and I'll tell you guys this too, on Weeble, any one of these windows you can maximize the pane. You go to these three lines, maximize. You can see it real nice and zoomed in if you want to. And then up here restores it back. So you can blow your chart up if you want to. There you go. So I'm a momentum guy, okay? And this will, maybe this will clarify. Once I've set my lines, once I've set my, I've got my pre-market in yellow, my morning market in purple. Guess I got to adjust that up. So that would have been morning market the other day. Or no? Is that right? 9:35, 1, 2, 3, been right here on that candle. So I like trading momentum, and some people would rather have confirmation. So there's two ways in trading. When you're day trading, like with me, there's two different ways to approach it. Much of this depends on risk and what your risk tolerance is, your account size, how you want to play. It has to do with you, the individual. Okay. So I really like, I focus a lot of my time on my levels. So when I'm approaching those levels, I like to take the crossing of those levels, and I like to take, and it's not always easy. I get it. Like when we broke morning market here, that was a go in for me. I also entered, I believe I remember this, I ran this green candle right there. And guess what? I took profits also. We bounced on this too. When it crossed that line, 566.20, I got out 565.80. That's almost a half a point. If I can scalp 10 to 20% on that move, I've either got two trains of thought. I'm going to take profit down there on the 200, which made sense. Or if this sucks back over my line, I am out, break even, close to break even as I can get. So I'm trading momentum, I'm trading my line, and I'm respecting my line. I have to respect my line. If it can't stay under it, I'm getting out as it comes back across it. I've spent a lot of time building my account up so I can get back in the play. You can always get back in. But if this thing reverses and shoots all the way up here to, let's say, 567.50, and you just decide to hold, well, that's a big loss to me. It's a big loss. Even though it didn't break out that day, it came back. That's a big loss. I'm really in the mind of I don't want to take losses at all. Really minimal losses when I do. And it starts paying off over time. It really does start paying off over time. And if you spend time, like I've spent time in years past, working 2 and 3 jobs to help build my account up where I could do that, where I've got enough money to say, hey, this isn't holding my line. I have to get out. If I was confident this was going to continue, I would hold back to my point of entry and get out if it can't hold it. And then I'll get back in if it confirms. Now right here it confirmed. It breaks it again. And we get under the 200. That's when it broke it and closed outside of it, that was some confirmation. Now you could take it on the break of it. You could take it when the candle closes and you begin to see the next candle. You got one or two choices. You can play a back test of this line or a back test of the 9 EMA for your next run down. The way I'm confirming that is, well, for one, even on the MACD on the 5 minute, we started getting when we pull away from that signal line, the blue line, we're getting a move. When I pop on a 15 here, let's look at the opening with a 15. Looky there. We get a crossover to the downside. Giving some confirmation. So there's 2 or 3 things giving confirmation. I want to see confirmation from more things than just from more than one thing. So that gives confidence to hold on a higher time frame. If I'm day trading on a 5 minute, then I love to let a 15 show me more direction in a bigger time frame. 15, 30, 1 hour. I love that. So that's kind of how I approach it, man. You know, there's lots of ways to do it. There's not just one wrong and right way. But this was money in the bank. That whole rundown was money in the bank. And as the day goes on, I mark my lines. When we re-break them, like up here, we retested the 200 here. Got denied. Boom, flush down. So there was a couple entries here. I could have crossed on the crossing of VWAP and the back crossing again of pre-market to the downside. As the candle crosses, I'm going in. As it crosses, I'm going in. Getting out down here. This was I had this line here marked because that's where we ran down to. You did get another candle, but this green one immediately come back and stop right there at the same point. That's why I marked that. And you can see it was a line in the sand for me a few times that day. It stayed over it back here. Stayed over it here. I love marking stuff as the day goes on. Sprinter, I've been a while since I've traded futures. Futures have, they're very expensive, high risk. You gotta play with a pretty good account size, or you need to do a funded account through some of those prop firms or whatever. I can do it, but at the same time, not very many people in our community are able to do it, so it's not something you can teach very much or have a lot of people follow along and learn with, because it is kind of expensive, and it's usually hard to set up, and you gotta go through other platforms. Weeble's got futures now, but I don't think it's the best futures trader. I think Apex and Trade Evade or things like that. There's some good futures platforms out there, but Weeble's probably not up there. As soon as your lines are crossed. So let's see here. Speaking of stop loss, is 32 much. 30% is not too much. But if you're going with a wide stop loss, and Josh says this sometimes, you'll go with smaller position size, wider stop loss. It helps you stay in the trade more. That's the idea behind it when you're only buying one or two. I feel you, Cherie. I feel you. Yeah, there's a lot of pros to it. Brad, you're right. Just to confirm, you buy as soon as your lines are crossed and do not wait for a closed candle for confirmation. You just said your MACD. Right, Brad. My levels, my MACD, RSI, and my level itself being broke is my confirmation. And if that candle can close under it, then that's giving me some confirmation it's ready to stay under that line. Doesn't mean it has to every time, but that's another piece of my puzzle. If it broke it and it closed under it, that is some confirmation. Now, your follow-up candle is also confirmation. So some people would rather have a candle open and close underneath morning market. Well, if we're doing that, then we don't get in the trade till this candle is closed. And, this particular move, it would have still paid, but that's a lot of meat on the bone that I've left. Yep. Strawberry guava, sweetbread, French toast. I feel your nephew. LD, I've got a $5,000 account. How many should I be buying to grow my account? I can stomach the risk. What's up, big boys? Rudy, risk reward ratio. Yeah, you can. And you can set your stops also. Like if you wanted to set a 10% stop, 20% take profit, that's a 2-to-1 ratio. And that's never a bad idea. Calculated moves. When I'm scalping though, I'm like in the moment, so I don't use it as much. I'm telling you, I try to cut my losses at break even. If it can't keep the momentum, I'll cut it. I can re-enter the trade. I have a $5,000 account. How many should I be buying to grow my account? I can stomach the risk. Derek, yeah, if I go in, I'll post it. If you go into it, you'll need to use a stop loss and manage it. But if I go into it, I'll post it. Can you integrate Weeble and TradingView to see your options on TradingView chart? Owen, I'm not 100%. I think you can. Um, can you integrate Weeble changes to see options? Oh, and I've done it with shares, but I've not done it with options yet. Trend, you'll go to account. I'm not bringing mine up, but I'll show you where. You go to this tab right here, account, on the desktop. When you see that, you'll see some blocks in this top left corner that'll show options buying power, settled funds. Check the settled funds because it'll allow you to buy with unsettled funds, but if you're selling things that you've bought with unsettled funds on the same day, you'll get strikes against your account. So you don't want to end up getting too many. Every now and again you might get one if it's a great play, but I wouldn't waste them on just junk if you're in a smaller account. So yeah, you just click on account over here on the left column. I think if I was on a $5,000 account, just to be straight up, no BS with you. Who was that was asking that? LD. My first goal would be between $50 to $75 of profit per day. I think that is realistic. What is that, guys? That's 5%. If you're steadily making between $50 and $75 a day on a $5,000 account, that is realistic. And then, every now and again, a home run comes and you'll get $100, $200, $300 on a day on that. That's realistic. And also in doing that, you can use, if you start becoming consistent and accurate, you can use you don't even though you got, let's say the first trade of the day, you take 2 contracts and it goes well, you get 20% on one, let's say 30% on the other, and you hit your goal for $55, $60, almost $70. And you've got another $4,000 worth of buying power. If you take another trade, you put risk back on the table. Okay? If you take another trade, then at that point you reduce your position size. If you took 2 the first time, you only take 1 this time for one bonus trade. At that point, if that one's like a break even or a small loss, the day's done. You still keep that $50, $60 a day, and you start making it consistent. Because if you can be consistent with 50, 60, 40, 60, 70, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're going to get like a $200 or $300. And then you're going to get a red day here and there. Okay? Make your red day smaller. I had 4 green days last week and 1 red day. Guess what? The red day I had was minute compared to any of my green days because I don't hold losers. I'm not holding losers. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Go look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you ain't holding them. You ain't gonna hold them. So I think $5,000, $50 a day is a great place to start, LD. I was sitting here thinking about it in my head. Somebody else had a question. Any change on SPY going to 593 in the next few weeks? You know, where's my trading view at here? Let's get a quick look. That ain't it. And then I think somebody said something about a $2,000 account. I have $2K in my Weeble. There you go, Trent. How do you find out how much money is left on each trade? For example, 2 contracts bought for $215. Where can I find the remaining? Okay, hopefully I answered that a second ago, Trent. If I set up a stop loss in Turbo, then do I have to manually cancel it if I take profit? Lucky guy, yes. You have to manually cancel it. It's considered a working order. And I think, yeah, it will display under working orders right here. You would have 2 tabs. If you do, that's why I tell people if they do a stop loss to go under positions, click on the contract and move the stop up on the chart. It's very easily done and it's visual. You run it right behind. Then you're not worrying about canceling those orders. You're letting the stop loss be your exit. That's the easiest way to do that. Okay. Aloha, Michael. Someday I'm going to try an intraday trade. If you're live, gotta go. Okay, Jim. Good to hear from you, brother. Yeah, Brad. Let me catch up here. Jess, in this life, no, super trend is not accurate at all. I would stay away from it. It will totally fake you out. Yep. It'll totally mess you up, fake you out. What's up, Rudy? Okay, let me go back here. Isaac, option for the next day. What is the good percentage to set up for stop loss? If you're going to hold it for a whole day, Isaac, it depends on how expensive it is, man. But you're going to want to set it a little looser if you're more confident in it. What's up, AZ Mike? Your buy levels on SUI 280 pullback and still valid entries. Yeah, I'll pull up SUI. That's what I was getting over here. Let me get this for you. Because no, it's not technically still valid. It's moved too much since then. I should have not done that. SUI USD. Right there. Okay. Yeah, now I would if it loses this level right here under these lows, $325, it can easily come all the way back down here. So right now I would want it to hold up here though at 370 there, somewhere in that neighborhood. Let me get this VWAP off here. Sui's now back over the 200 on the daily. But, you know, this RSI is about to cross down. The MACD's flattening a little bit. This run here may be slowing down now. And, you know, I would say the pullback level would be more like 309 down to 3. I don't know that I want to ride it under 3 very long though, because it could get back to 240 and then 160 pretty daggone easy. Pretty easy. We all seen it can come right back down just as quick as it flew up the first time. So if you're running, you know, watching crypto run right now, I get it. Everybody was scared to buy when it was dropping back there, and I get it, because really, if it lost this 160 level, you can see there's nothing here to stop it until 90 cents. That's a hard level to buy, 174-ish, because it wasn't looking good. Where's that at? Right here. You can see the daily. It gave a flip up, and then if you guys see, look at this MACD. When the blue line, which this is backwards than Weeble, the blue line's the MACD, the orange is the signal. You see how close these two lines are all through here? Once the blue line and the signal line starts separating, that's when move starts to happen. That's when it starts getting ready to go. And it gave the signal down there with this blue line staying on top of the orange line. As long as it didn't cross back under, that was when it started separating. You can see it held on this shelf right here. Took off like a bat out of Hades. So, you know, you got it. This is all still in context with Bitcoin, so it depends on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin on the daily, I want to see it, you know, we got to get that parabolic move to break highs. You still got to get over 109. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back into the mid 90s again and then rip on up. It's about ready for a cool off. Let's look at the weekly. On the weekly, you'll see it's about to flip up. So that's bullish. I would say if this begins to make new highs over 105 up to 109. It's gonna continue. This is just a breakout thing to me. If it'll break out over previous highs, then I will consider buying some crypto. Otherwise, I don't want to put a bunch at risk when I've got all my profits from the crypto cycle. Okay. LD, great. That's awesome to hear, man. That is awesome to hear. Can you explain exactly what the blue and yellow? Kobe Hall, that is volume. That is the volume profile. That is up volume and down volume. The blue is up volume. The gold is down volume. And that's how this is a tool I use to find levels with a lot. I asked ChatGPT to suggest a book about option scalping. JA, going on 9 years. Solana, you want me to chart Solana, Isaac? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Dave, I will often I will go off of like pivot low, like swing lows. I will do that. If I'm doing short-term levels, I'll measure the previous week or the previous 2 weeks. I want to see structure above me and below me so I can get cats over here going crazy. So I can get an idea of things that have traded under me and over me of structure. Okay? That's how I measure. Solana. We can check Solana for you. Okay. Support 153 down to 130. If it'll start closing over 175, you can move on back to 200 pretty easy. On Solana. Yep. Kobe, I hate the volume profile on Weeble. It stinks, don't it? Derek, I've never found something similar to Turbo Trader in Moo. I don't use Moo very much. I have a Moo account. I did fund it just to try it again and hated it, so I've not wasted my time with it. I'll try to tinker around with it in the near future and see if I can figure anything out, but I'm not a big fan of it. I've not found anything to compare to my setup on Weeble. Like I am a firm believer I can keep up with the best of them on this setup. Like I really do. I love this. I am finding a workaround with just Turbo Trader for people that don't have turbo options, that just has to use the regular options chain, in that you can do this pretty fast just through Turbo Trader, which is a different tool than Turbo Options. Hey Mike, what do you think about the Weeble stock chart ticker symbol? Is bull. Yannick, it ripped and I missed it. I imagine it's gonna be pretty good ticker, but I've not charted it. I can take a quick look. We do the 1 hour. It's like get real. Shot way up there. It's waiting on I guess a lot of people that early invested took a lot of profits, and now it's cooling off. I would be apt to buy some really slowly and hold it for a longer term move. Just the shares. Man. As long as it didn't make new low, like I wouldn't be holding this thing down under 13 much. I would want it to hold 13. But it's probably going to have some good moments in the future, and this is early in its existence, so it's probably going to be a decent ticker. I'm not well read up on Weeble as a stock ticker yet, but it needs to get above 1940 right now. Actually, yeah, about there, about 1850. If it could start ripping above 1850, it might move some again. But it's bearish leaning right now for sure. I agree, Owen. Moomoo's so hard to navigate around. I don't like the tools. Repeat customers. Thank you, Shelley. Yannick, I'm sorry. I'm on the right screen now. Here's Weeble. I do love the one-on-ones, guys. I enjoy them so much, getting to help people. over 1850, somewhere in this neighborhood here, the top of this big volume shelf here. If I measure this back, everything's down here. You see where everybody bought. All that up there was profit taken. This was explosive IPO profit taken right back down. Thank you, T. That's my opinion on Weeble. Like, it will have its day. This would be something, to me, if you didn't get in on the IPO and take profits, this would be something like to just slowly dollar cost average into if you want to trade, and with a stop loss like under $10, I probably ain't holding it. In saying that, where did this thing IPO at? Yeah, $10. So under 10, no, but I think you could slowly average into this one and probably do well. It gets back above 32 sometime. It'll rip up in the 40s up to here, 45. It'll rip, and then you take profit. That would be close to a double or triple. Okay. I would really want it to hold this 1440, 1320 area, 1320 to 1440. That's where I would want to accumulate the most. And then if it dropped, you could just let a stop kick you and rethink it down here. The daily's still bearish, guys. So it's probably going to have another pullback. This RSI going to flip down. So I would want the MACD to really need to prove us right by giving a cross up, but it looks like it's wanting to just cool off and go down more. Along with VWAP, do you use a 9 and 21 combination for scalping, or just VWAP? Patriot, I don't use the 20 or 21. I just use the 9, and I use the 200. And those are on small time frames, on 5-minute. Some people like a 21 or 1348 cross or something like that, but it's just one way to trade. Just to be straight up with you, 1 out of 5 billion ways to trade, and but everybody finds what suits them. And one day, after you've built tool after tool after tool in your tool belt, you'll probably develop your own way that you like to look at things, taking and picking from this, and that of a foundation, and then you'll have, you'll alter things on your way. Weeble leap option? No, shares only, LD. Shares only. I don't know that let's see here, what would be Here's a November one. I don't know. Yeah, but I've never traded options on Weeble, the ticker Weeble, so I don't know. Be careful doing leaps like that on stuff you don't know much about. Okay. Do we gap up tomorrow on China? AZ Mike, I kind of thought so. That's why I came on. So I'll sign off here in just a second, guys. I just wanted to hop on, give everybody a little piece of my thinking. I think we could gap up, and then if more news comes. But I was watching crypto for an early indicator, and I'm not getting the vibe I wanted. So we'll see. If it starts ripping, I may buy some shares in the overnight session of TQQQ. This is where futures would be handy, where you could grab some futures contracts overnight, because the futures market will open, I guess, at 8 p.m. I think is what it is, Eastern time. That could be profitable. I'm not set up for futures right yet. I've thought about reopening a futures account now. I don't know. We'll see. Not a lot of people follow along on futures. They're very expensive, some of them. Be on tomorrow. We'll try to take base hits instead of LD, please. Base hit, baby. Let's stack them up and then get on with our day. You don't want to sit here for 8 hours. You just don't want to do it. I'm telling you. It'll wear you out. There's no liquidity throughout the day in the mid time of the day. There's just not much movement usually. And occasionally you can catch some, but usually no. All right, my friends. I love you all. For now, let's get a little quick look. We're going to get let's get this look here. We want to get on top of this, man. We want to get on top of 570. Let's get some back in here. You'll see. Look. And there we go. Now, you see what we're contending with? We want to get over 570. Then over this shelf right here, 580. That's what we want. Until then, we're in the thick of it. Unless you measure back far enough, you're not going to see it. But we spent a bunch of time. Here's a 4 hour. We spent a bunch of time up here at highs, just ranging until it finally broke under 575. That was the beginning of the big trip down, and I'm going to show you why. Why 575? Because look, when we broke under it back here, what is this? Right in there. Pretty daggone close, right? Look real close where we came back and retested. See that? That is a key level. That's a key level. We held it, here we almost tapped it. Here it held reversed. When we broke it here, when we broke under that here, we came back right there and retested it on that green candle, shot straight down. That's a good level. When we get over that, we can start leaning a little more bullish. So that's a big one. I'm watching 575. First thing in our way is 570. So we'll see what we get. Where'd we close Friday? 565, 564, 565. So yeah, that's what we want. All right, I love you guys. Thank you, Jess. Thank you all. Thanks, Raj. Got Apple Leap call options, and his delta is at 0.16. If we gap up, is it worth holding? What strike, Raj? Thanks, big boys. Love you back. Love you front. Love you sideways. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, AZ. Thank you, Debbie. Kelly, thanks. JA. When you gonna do that guitar intro? Oh, man. All right. What y'all want to hear, man? I'll give you one song. Boom, baby. There we go. Oh, I won't back down. I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, and I won't back down. I wanna stand what's right. I got just one line. In a world that keeps on pushing me around, I'm gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, ain't no easy way out. Hey, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. There you go, guys. Oh, man. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Kobe. Y'all got a request? Anybody got a request? One song before I go. You call it. You got a 220 strike? Raj, let's look, man. Yeah, don't get no better than Tom Petty for me. Let's see here. Thanks, Robbie. What's what was the date of that thing, Raj? Did you say the date? That's some Apple Leaves. Thank you, Carolina. And it makes fire rain. I fell for you like a child. Oh, and the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went down, 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 and the flame went high. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. There you go, buddy. June 20, okay. June 22's 20 strike. That's right, Uncle Robbie. June 20. Strike. Raj, I'm not sure, brother. Let me look at Apple. Under 190, I wouldn't. As long as it holds over 190, and I'd really like it to hold 196. I would rather it hold 196 and then 190. And I'd like to see it get over 201, but I mean, that's kind of far out of the money too. So that's kind of how I would go about it, man. You know, you got time still, but I know time's winding down. There you go, Robbie. I don't have a Lane Staley voice, unfortunately. Ain't found no way to kill me yet. Eyes burn with a stinging sweat. Seems every path leads me to nowhere. Got my pills, got my machine gun head. I remember the words, brother. There we go, man. All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna roll. Go see my mama. I love you guys. Yeah, we can have fun here. I don't like doing it in the middle of the day though. Everybody's focused on trading, so I don't want to do that. But we can have fun on the weekend a little bit. Keep your eyes also on CVE, guys. Like, if you played any of those levels with me, we're up pretty decent, but it needs to break out of this down channel, and it needs to I want the daily to rip through. I've got an alert, you can see it, and it looks pretty bullish to me right now. I want it to get through the 0 line of the MACD and keep going. That's what I want. So we'll see. Yep. All right. Thanks, Carolina. Thank you all. Peace. I love you. I'll catch you in the morning. Hopefully I helped somebody. We had a good time. All right. Much love, guys. Much love. See you.